Most of my grandmother's recipes were for cakes, puddings, and biscuits. A lifetime later, her daughter loved sweet things, but could hardly remember anything delicious that her mother had made. What about ice cream? Recipe 181 tells how to pack ice or snow, frost or hail in combination with coarse salt, 8 parts ice, 1 part salt, to freeze several different kinds of ice cream. As I read them, the words evoked an image of excited children dashing out to collect white hail on the grass in a summer storm. Oh no. So what sort of food did you eat? Ordinary food, bread, butter, jam. Dad grew vegetables. He was a good vegetable gardener. Mother made jam. And fruit trees? Well, we had orange trees. She made a Christmas pudding. She made bottles of something. I can see it now, the dark-coloured fruit. People bought the bottles. The story of the Christmas puddings was one she had told so often during my childhood that it had become almost iconic. How one year, when they had moved to Umlaas Road, Dad announced that since there was no money, there would be no Christmas, and how Mother defied him and set to work on making puddings. Raisins, suet, currants, mixed peel, breadcrumbs, flour, sugar, nutmeg, eggs, brandy. The recipe in Madge's book is enough for 4 small ones. She made a long row of puddings and sold each one. The family did have Christmas after all. She was an incredible person, really, my mother said. No wonder you see that look on her face. She had a very rough time. To have been brought up in a wealthy family and then to have to make jam to keep alive. But if you go on having more and more children, you're asking for a shortage of money. I lost 6pence one day, and that was a terrible thing. We didn't have pocket money. Maybe I was sent to buy something. And what about servants? Yes, a house girl, a young African woman, an Intombi. She probably lived in a place where African people lived, other side of the railway line, Edendale. I suppose there were odd gardeners too, but I can't remember any of them. Yet there was no sort of race bar. We weren't told not to talk to them or anything. As she returned after a lifetime to Blackridge of the 1920s, and the subsequent years dropped away like layers of unwanted clothes, the world she came home to was a place attended by unnamed servants and gardeners who visit the neighbourhood to work, but live somewhere else, just out of sight. What was her name, the young woman who worked for Mrs. Smalley? Did she have children of her own? And did she, like other domestic workers in the neighbourhood, have Thursdays as her afternoon off?